Class 12th subject physics 13th chapter AC circuits. From this chapter let us see LC oscillations. So first of all let us see how the LC oscillations are produced. We know that the capacitors and inductors store energy in the form of electric and magnetic fields respectively. That is, capacitors store energy in the form of electric field, that is electrostatic energy, and the inductors store the energy in the form of magnetic fields, that is magnetic energy. Then when a capacitor is supplied with an AC current, it gets charged. When such a fully charged capacitor is connected to an inductor, the charge is transferred to the inductor and the current starts flowing through the inductor. Due to the increasing current, there will be change in magnetic flux of the inductor in the circuit, and hence, according to Faraday's law, induced EMF is produced in the circuit. Then the self-induced EMF will try to oppose the growth of the current, that is the further increase in current. Due to this, the charge on capacitor decreases and an equivalent amount of energy is stored in the inductor, that is energy will be stored in the inductor in the form of magnetic field. When the discharging of capacitor completes, all the energy stored in that capacitor will be stored in the inductor, that is completely electrostatic energy will get converted into magnetic energy. Then the capacitor will become fully discharged. No charge will be present on the capacitor, it will be fully discharged, and inductor will be storing all of its energy. As a result, the inductor will start charging the capacitor now, and then the current and the magnetic flux linked with the inductor start decreasing, and therefore an induced EMF will be produced which recharges the capacitor in the opposite direction as that of previous case. And this process of charging of the capacitor and discharging of that capacitor will continue. It will continue, that is charging and discharging of that capacitor due to that inductor repeats, and energy taken from the source keeps on oscillating between the capacitor C and the inductor L. When a charged capacitor is allowed to discharge through non-resistive inductor, the electric oscillations of constant amplitude and frequency are produced. So in this case, the inductor must be non-resistive, that is resistance of the inductor must be equal to 0. Now these oscillations produced are called as LC oscillations, because that electrical oscillations are of constant amplitude and frequency, and hence they are called as LC oscillations. Now let us see the explanation of LC oscillations. Explanation of LC oscillations. In all, there are 5 cases. The first step, that is A, represents fully charged capacitor connected to an inductor. So this C will represent capacitor, L will represent inductor, and in this first case the capacitor C is fully charged and just it is connected to this inductor. So when that capacitor with initial charge Q0, that will be the maximum charge Q0 at t is equal to 0, is connected to an ideal inductor, that is its resistance will be equal to 0, then the energy stored in dielectric medium between the plates of this capacitor is given as UE, that is electrostatic energy UE equal to half Q0 square upon C, because we know that energy stored in capacitor U is equal to half Q square by C. By this formula that energy is given, and therefore UE equal to half Q0 square upon C, where C will be the capacity of that capacitor, which is called as capacitance of this capacitor. Then since there is no current, that is as soon as this capacitor is connected to the inductor, no current flows through this circuit. That means since there is no current, that is I is equal to 0 in the circuit, the energy stored in the magnetic field of this inductor will be equal to 0, and therefore UB will be equal to 0. That means when that fully charged capacitor is connected to an inductor, at that time it will possess only electrostatic energy in the capacitor, and the magnetic energy in the inductor will be equal to 0. Now let us see second case, that is B. The capacitor begins to discharge. So this figure will represent that the capacitor begins to discharge. So when the capacitor begins to discharge itself through the inductor, giving rise to current I. Now when there is discharging of this capacitor takes place, at that time the current I will be flowing through that circuit. Now in the first case, large amount of charges are present here on the plates of the capacitor as it is fully charged. Now here it is discharging, and therefore number of charges present on the plates of the capacitor are decreased. Now as the current increases, as the current I in this circuit increases, it develops magnetic field around the inductor. So these curves will represent the magnetic lines of forces, and in this way the magnetic field will be produced around the inductor L, and a part of electrical energy of this capacitor gets stored in inductor in the form of the magnetic energy. So during the discharging of this capacitor, some part of this electrostatic energy of this capacitor will be transferred, will be converted into magnetic energy, which is given as UB equal to half Li square, where L is the self inductance of this inductor L. So UB is equal to half Li square. So in this case, the electrostatic energy of the capacitor goes on decreasing, and that amount of energy which is decreased will get converted into the magnetic energy of the inductor. Now let us see the third case, that is case C, which represents the capacitor is fully discharged. So in the second case, the discharging of the capacitor begins, and in case C, that capacitor is fully discharged. So in this case, at any later instant, that is after second step, the capacitor gets fully discharged. This capacitor will get fully discharged, and therefore there is no charge present on the plates of the capacitor, and the potential difference across its plates becomes 0. as there are no charges, therefore potential difference between the plates of the capacitor will become equal to 0. Then at that time the current in the circuit reaches to its peak value, that is maximum value I0. So I0 is the maximum current flowing through that circuit, and energy in the inductor, energy in this inductor L is magnetic energy. Thus the total electrostatic energy of this capacitor gets converted into magnetic energy. So here there are no charges, so that we can say that this capacitor is fully discharged. And as compared with the second case, that is B case, here magnetic lines of forces are few in number, while in this case magnetic lines of forces are large in number, and therefore the total energy, that is electrostatic energy of this capacitor, will get converted into the magnetic energy of this inductor, that is UE will get converted into UB. Now let us consider the fourth case, that is case D, in which capacitor begins to charge in reverse direction, that is in opposite direction. So in the third case, that capacitor was fully discharged, but total magnetic energy will be stored in this inductor, and due to that again there will be charging of this capacitor due to this inductor. And therefore in fourth case we can say that after discharge of capacitor, when it is completed, when that capacitor is fully discharged, then the magnetic flux linked with this inductor, the magnetic flux linked with this inductor decreases, inducing the current in the same direction in that circuit. Again, due to this inductor, the current I will be set up in the circuit in the same direction as that of the previous cases, and the magnitude of current is less. The magnitude of the current is less because in this third case, that is in C, the current was reached to its maximum value I0, but when the charging process of this capacitor goes on, at that time, as soon as the charging of the capacitor begins, at that time the current flowing in the circuit decreases, and the charges the capacitor in the opposite direction. So the charging process of the capacitor will now go on in this fourth case, and the magnetic energy of the inductor starts converting into electrostatic energy of this capacitor. Now in this case, the magnetic energy will start converting into the electrostatic energy, and therefore in this third case there were no charges present on the plates of the capacitor as it is fully discharged. But when charging due to this magnetic field takes place, few number of charges will be present on the plates of the capacitor, but there is interchange of the charges on the plates as compared with the previous cases. So here plus charge, here minus charge will be produced, but the direction of the current is the same as that of previous case. And now let us see, when the charging process of this capacitor is going on, let us see next case, that is E, in which capacitor is again fully charged in opposite direction. So capacitor will be fully charged in the opposite direction, and that's why here there will be no magnetic lines of forces linked with this inductor, but the charge on the plates of the capacitor increases as compared with case D, and therefore it is fully charged, but it will be fully charged in opposite direction, and hence again current in the circuit will become equal to 0. Now the process of charging of this capacitor continues till capacitor is fully charged with opposite polarity as in initial state. Then the entire energy is again stored in that capacitor, that will be the electrostatic energy, that is UE equal to half Q0 square by C in the electric field of that capacitor. Thus, if we consider all the cases, then the charging and discharging process of the capacitor repeats again and again. So, charging and discharging process of the capacitor repeats again and again. Similarly, the electrostatic energy and magnetic energy of the capacitor and the inductor gets interconverted again and again repeatedly. This produces the electrical oscillations of definite frequency, and these oscillations are called as LC oscillations. If there is no loss of energy, the amplitude of oscillations remains constant and the oscillations are undamped. So undamped oscillations will be produced only when if there is no any loss of energy, that is when there is conversion of electrostatic energy into magnetic energy or magnetic energy into electric energy. At that time, if there is no loss of energy during the conversion, then the oscillations are undamped. However, the LC oscillations are damped oscillations, and these LC oscillations are damped oscillations because of two reasons. First reason is every inductor has some resistance which causes the loss of energy as heat energy, and therefore the amplitude of oscillations goes on decreasing and finally it will die out, that is it will vanish. So in the first reason, that due to the some resistance of the inductor, the oscillations will be damped. Second reason is even if resistance of the inductor is zero, the total energy of the system will not remain constant. Even if the resistance of the inductor is zero, total energy of the system will not remain constant. It is radiated away in the form of electromagnetic waves. So during the conversion of electrostatic energy into magnetic energy or magnetic energy into electrostatic energy, some part of energy will be radiated in the form of electromagnetic waves, and therefore the oscillations will be damped oscillations. Now the working of TV transmitters is based on such radiations. The working of TV transmitters is based on such radiations. So this will be regarding the LC oscillations.